Hi guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Today we are here to talk about Sauber with the one and only Carby. Would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? My name is Carpy. I used to do YouTube, but don't really anymore. I mainly just rant about F1 on Twitter and such.
So definitely worth a follow, it's in the description.
Cheers.
So yeah, today we're going to talk about Sauber. You said probably the best way to start off about this is talk about 2015, and you said before we started recording that they probably stopped sort of developing their car about, was it Italy?
Yeah, I think largely they just ran out of money. They're a team which is probably even have less money than Manor do now. Manor have even got the money to pay for a Mercedes engine, so it's going to be a tough 2016 for them, I think.
I suppose they're lucky in a way that both of their drivers do bring in a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
In all fairness, both of them do.
Yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush. That despite being a very big fan of Marcus Ericsson, he does bring money, and that's the principal reason for him being there. I don't think anybody can deny that.
But it's not as if he came out of nowhere. He did have a lot of wins in GP2. So
yeah, I mean,
definitely has a bit of experience.
It rather him than drivers who never even got a win. You know.
Yes, that's true. So yeah, the 2015 car, it started off really well, didn't it? Obviously in Australia, was it Felipe Nasr got what, a 5th place?
Yeah, 5th and 8th. Pretty good debut for their 2015 car. Well, it was basically just the 2014 car with a couple of modifications and painted blue.
And then it went downhill from there pretty much.
Oh, definitely went downhill. I don't remember them scoring points in the last couple of races.
But then, you know, at the end of the day, yes, you said they're one of the poorest teams on the grid, and the only way they can get money at the moment seems to be, you know, not necessarily bad drivers, just drivers that have money.
It's really sad because they're such a historic team, you know. They've been in it for over 15 years, and they're a team which you really want on the F1 grid because they're such a...
just like a nice team, isn't it?
Yeah. It's sort of categoric midfield team, but they just can't get any finance.
I mean, 2012 was a great year for them. It was just a great year in general, in my opinion, 2012. But
podiums, my God.
Podiums and...
it just shows how far they've fallen, really.
But then you look at 2011, they're sort of where they are now. So you could say randomly they could just jump back up there once again. It's like Williams, isn't it? They were nowhere for like 5 years, and they suddenly go and get a win in 2012. But yeah, so 2016, he says, is probably going to be a pretty tough year.
I think so. It's they're with probably the second best engine, unless Ferrari make massive steps over the winter, which I think everyone is hoping they do.
Yeah.
If they do, you know, maybe something crazy happens. Sauber are the second best team because the Ferrari engine's so godlike.
Good.
Yeah.
It would be pretty funny, but yeah, I mean, but the thing is with Sauber, like every year you just don't know what to expect. It's probably it's like supporting a football team that's like so random. So
Everton,
it definitely brings the highs and lows of Formula One.
Yeah.
But I suppose you don't really want that. You only want the highs, really, to be honest.
Giving a prediction for Sauber to finish this year, I honestly can't see them finishing anywhere than bottom of the championship, unless the Ferrari engine is absolutely immaculate.
You think they finish below?
I think they could finish below Manor.
I suppose they did in 2014, didn't
they? They did, yeah. Manor scoring those 2 points.
Wow. I suppose it could happen again. I forgot that they had such a bad year in 2014. The legend Adrian Sutter was there and you couldn't do it.
I know! That's incredible. I was rated Sittle as a driver. I think they made a mistake.
Yes, we found somebody. Found somebody that actually thinks he's decent.
I don't think had they had the money, I think if they had enough money they would have probably kept Sittle.
I suppose that's true.
I felt sad when he was dropped from Force India.
Sutton and Ericsson would just be the dream team.
Of course, yes.
So, yeah, you said they'll finish bottom of the table. Do you think they'll be scoring any points?
I think, I think this could be the first season in F1 for a long time where every team scores points. Even Haas, I think Haas will be immediately faster than Sauber and Manor.
I agree. Thinking about it now, they've had so much time. They've all that money, well, not money, they've got all that development from Ferraris.
They're one of the first teams to join the grid who actually have money to start with. You know, HRT and the other two didn't have any money when they joined the grid.
But what's the last team that actually joined that actually was not, like, that's still around, that makes any sense? Well, I suppose it's Manor, but, you know, one that was actually decent. It could even be someone like Sauber, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Force India.
Force India, yeah. They formed out the Ashes of Jordan, which I'd count them. I'd count them as a team.
Yeah.
With money.
Who was Sauber? Did they just come out of their own team?
Yeah, Sauber were a newly formed team back in 1995 or so.
Yeah, kind of remember they ran at Le Mans, didn't they, with that Sauber C9?
Yeah, and then they went into F1.
Yeah, so I mean they definitely got pedigree in it. I'd be sad to see them go, but yeah. So what do you think about the drive lineup? Do you rate? Obviously, you rate.
Oh
Ericsson
yeah, of course.
a good driver, but
future world champion in my mind if he gets if he gets luck on his side.
That new engine, and it's going to be championship.
Definitely.
But how do you rate Nasser then? Obviously, you've followed Sauber in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think overall it's one of the closest driver lineups in terms of actual skill on the grid.
Yeah.
Although potentially the whole Lotus thing could be interesting if Maldonado loses his drive. But very close driver lineup. I think Ericsson was a little hard done. Of course, I'm going to say that, but I think he was a little hard done by last year with where he retired, and Nasser scored points wherever he retired, and
yeah,
it was a tough year for him, but a really good rookie season for Nasser. Giving a prediction of how well they could do this year, I think Ericsson will do a lot better this year. I think he'll prove a lot of people wrong. But I still think Nasser will eclipse him this season. I think it could be Ericsson's last season in F1.
He just got spin into the gravel like he did in Malaysia.
Oh, that was so horrible. As a fan of Eric, just watching him go off in Malaysia was one of the worst experiences I've had watching F1. Because he'd done so well up to that point.
It's like when you watch a driver make such a simple mistake when they're in such a good... It's like, for me, when I was watching Adrian Sutil in China 2009.
Oh.
I think he was ahead of Lewis Hamilton and he bottled it with like 2 laps to go. I'm like, why?
Why you do this?
I think that had been their first ever points in Formula 1 as well.
Yeah,
but
he would.
That ended up being a podium.
Yeah.
Have you got anything else you'd like to speak about with Sauber?
I just think that they really do need a stroke of luck this year. Their only hope is not to finish last. If they finish last, I think even they could just vanish after this year.
What teams get the money? Is it top 10?
Yes, top 10 teams. So
and how many teams are there? 11 teams?
11 teams now.
Okay, so yeah, I see what you mean there. They need that.
That's pretty much what killed Caterham off.
Yeah.
Had Caterham managed to score another 11th place, then they would have actually beaten Sauber.
Because they...
But
who was it?
Sauber scored more, 12 places.
Scenes. Who was it in 2012? It was the last race of the season, wasn't it? Was it Petrov?
It was Petrov, yeah.
Is that cost a lot of money, didn't it, for one of the teams? I can't. Was it for Caterham that they lost the money, or was it from Manor?
I think Caterham. Caterham came off worse in 2013, but I think Caterham beat them in 2012 on the last race.
Yeah. I mean, they just need to make sure, as you said, they beat Manor, really. And then it could be Manor's last time in Formula 1.
Although this is a horrible thing to say, but I kind of hope that Haas don't do very well and that Sauber can stay ahead of them.
Well, that's an understandable thing to say. I mean, if you support a team and driver,
you
want them to do well, aren't you? Or do better than everyone else. But yeah, it's going to be tough for Sauber this year, as you said, with the money issues, but... it's the development, really, isn't it? They can come out with an amazing car, but as you said, they stopped developing in like Italy, and then it's like, where are they? you don't like recognise where they are. Like they're below Honda, or McLaren Honda.
I know that was a shock. I mean, the car must have been awful then if it was suddenly being outpaced by McLaren Honda in Italy on a straight line track.
Even if Sauber didn't improve at all in the whole season, you think how far ahead they were in Melbourne. It must have been like 3-4 seconds faster.
But I guess
than the
McLaren just had the money to throw at it. They just had
exactly.
money to keep pouring into the car.
And I suppose they got Honda as well there. They want a good name, so they want to put in money. So it's just how Formula 1 is, isn't it, nowadays? So if you just had to put it out there, where would you say Ericsson finishes in the standings? How many, what position and what points?
It's actually funny because in 2014, driving a Caterham, he finished higher in the standings than he did in the Sauber scoring points.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in 2014, I think he finished 17th ahead of Gutierrez. And then in 2015, he finished 18th, like behind both McLaren Hondas. So
wow.
For him, I'm going to say I think he can finish ahead of Gutierrez again in the Haas. I don't rate Gutierrez as a very consistent driver.
No, he's not.
And I think he can eclipse one or both of the Manor drivers. Which is an interesting thing because we don't know what drivers have yet signed for Manor. I think we would be able
to talk about this later.
Yeah.
I've got to talk about this later with somebody that I'm doing with a Manor. I was like, they've got no info on the car, they've got neither drivers. How on earth am I going to make that video?
I don't know, but I think if Manor sign good drivers, then they will finish ahead of Sauber. But if they sign mediocre drivers, I think if they keep Stevens on, the legend, for another season, I cannot see him beating Sauber. I don't think he's that particularly amazing.
No.
I'd rather they, maybe kept on Merry and then signed Haryanto or Wehrlein or Rossi even. I don't know. Just any decent lineup without Stevens.
So Stevens and Haryanto is.
Oh God, no.
Alright, so that's pretty much it, I think, for the video, unless you've got anything else to mention.
No, I don't think so.
Alright, so I'll leave a link to your Twitter down below. Definitely go and follow me. He tweets out a lot of banter, so it's good.
Oh yes, many Formula 1 banters.
Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. It's been Alex, and Carl, be out of here. Goodbye.
Bye.